Let the glory of the Lord rise among us. Let the glory of the Lord rise among us. Let the praises of the King rise among us. Let it rise. Let the songs of the Lord rise among us. Let the songs of the Lord rise among us. Let the joy of the King rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, let it rise. Oh, let it rise.
Now, oh, okay. I have not been following the World Cup, but I know something that good happened for Mexico at 3 a.m. last night. Anybody else? Yeah. There was singing in the streets in Spanish. Yes. Yeah, on Main Street. Yeah. Oh, out my window. Yeah. This is my Father's Day gift from my daughter, and I'm getting a big win today as she watches on YouTube. Yeah. A couple of announcements. One is the Bible study at 10 a.m. is continuing to chug along and growing, and we're having a great time, actually. And what we're doing right now is, we are learning to take him on his own terms. Paul, yeah. Does anybody use the word scruples? Okay, you know what scruples are? So right now what we're doing is we're jumping around through the letter, first, second, whatever, 1 Corinthians, jumping around, and we're asking the question, if you have different scruples than the person sitting next to you, so much so that you think what they're doing might be bad, and you both are part of the congregation, how do you get along? And that's what we're going through. And form your own church. Yes. Actually, that's what was happening in chapter 1. So, yeah. Yes, split. I think that's. And do you have any announcements? Church Council Tuesday 4 to 7. Anybody else? It's a big one. Lynn is excellent at selecting songs for our Sunday mornings, especially as we go through the scriptures that we do. So I encourage you often, much of the time, not all the time, but much of the time, we are what we sing, and so I just really appreciate the effort and the thoughtfulness of the music that we sing on Sunday morning. So I encourage you to sing loudly.
I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're all searching for answers only you provide, and you know just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us. Love so undeniable, I can hardly speak. Peace so unexplainable, I can hardly think as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still into love, love, love. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, Mount of God's redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither to thy help I'm come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above.
Will you pray with me? Lord Jesus, would you give us wisdom that is of the mind and wisdom of the heart, wisdom of the soul, as we dive into the stories of Scripture, that they would form our lives and shape our lives in ways that are fruitful. Amen. You can have a seat. Students, would you, as there's a bunch of papers around here, would you grab some of those? Grab the Scripture, follow along with me in Genesis 18. And by the end of our service this morning, would you work on crafting a good question? Can I get a thumbs up? Work on crafting a good question? Work on crafting a good... Okay, very good. Thank you. Taking a break from the lectionary, the Gospels, as we head into this regular time of normally what is the teachings of Jesus. We ask the question, who is him? Who is Jesus? I wanted to do 3-part series on Abraham and the faith of Abraham. And this is the 3rd Sunday. The last couple of Sundays, there aren't a whole lot of formulas when it comes to faith that I think are worthy of remembering, except there are a couple when it comes to the story of Abraham. And one of them is Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. How do we get right with the divine? Belief. Faith. Belief in what, though? Faith in what? That God will do what God said God will do. And that makes Abraham the father of faith. We looked at how Abram was 75 years old, and God said, you're going to have a son. And Abram and his wife Sarah had never, ever had a son. And then guess what? They didn't have a son for 25 years. They aged 25 more years on this promise that didn't happen. And then God shows up to them, and what we're going to enter in today, this final part of the story, is 1 year before they eventually do have a son. And now they're in their 90s, almost 100. All right. My best friend is about ready to have his 3rd daughter. Yeah. and he's 47. I have a question for you. I need you to engage me with your minds. When a 12 or 13-year-old Jewish boy or girl is going through the rite or the ritual of bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah and transitioning in sight of the community from sort of childhood to adulthood, there is a party and an event, and one of the things that the father stands up and says to the child that is transitioning through this ceremony into adulthood is, I don't know if you will be successful or not in life. I don't know if you will have good health or not in life. I don't know if you will make good decisions or not in life. But I want you to always remember that your mother and I love you. When you hear that, what do you think? Unconditional love. The first thing I'll tell you, the first thing I think of is un-American. Yeah. Bigger, stronger, faster, better, Brad. That's what we are. And your value is based upon how much you can produce and how great you can become. I'm gonna judge you on how much money you make or don't make. I'm gonna judge you on body image. I'm gonna judge you on if you have a prestigious job or not. I'm gonna judge you what college you went to. Yeah. And this blessing though, or this prayer, is I don't know if you will be successful or not. I don't know if you will be in good health or not. I don't know if you will make good decisions or not. But I want you to always remember that your mother and I love you. Well, that's pretty human, though, isn't it? Right? to have something that we strive to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to family.
Mm-hmm.
Families are struggling. Families divorce. Families deserting. Families. The goal, I think, of a Christian family is to provide that.
Mm-hmm.
And the goals of other religions are to want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell them and do everything, and they can still walk away not taking you back.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that you don't even know you did.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Jewish families are very devout and close about that. I grew up in a community that was probably 50% Jewish. Children grew up Jewish. And went to a lot of bar mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs. And every family should feel that. But it is heartbreaking when you see where it doesn't happen. But in the coaching I do so many times, it keeps the coaching about come all the way to that day.
So it's said to people that are transitioning from childhood to adulthood, but would you think a minute or consider for a minute, what if God said that to you? Could you receive that?
I think a lot of struggles people have in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you. Mm-hmm. Good. It's hard to receive a free gift. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I never reciprocated Gary because it was a gift.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's the third party. One time I saw a book I knew he would really like, where I'm thinking, I'll get that to him for Christmas. That's what I received from him. A gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He paid for my gift.
Yeah.
I never paid for your gifts, Gary. I just want to say thank you. That was a compliment.
Just say thank you. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, Sharon, you have asked me before what I think is sort of the foundational kind of emotional, psychological, spiritual place to start, and I think that we are beloved, and for a variety of reasons, and for different reasons for different people, we don't start there.
Well, the book I'm okay, you're okay. I heard a preacher. It's very book for that reason.
Okay.
But he starts out, we're all born okay.
Uh-huh.
First time we potty our doctors, we're not okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
And so we got to overcome that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll overcome it by learning.
And you can't earn it. You can't be a better soccer player to receive love.
Grow in it, become okay. It's going to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know statistically or whatever, but sometimes it seems like higher or families with quote higher performing kids in some area that their wealth of skills sometimes hinders receiving unconditional love, and that's something that as an 18 or 20-year-old you can do that to yourself. Your parents don't have to do that to you. What was back here? Yeah.
I count my blessings one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Even earlier, with the distraction, I said, well, that's what's not one by one. I can't help but think that way. One thing that you figure out, you can't read God's mind. You can't think about it. I'm so grateful for all of those things, but honestly, one thing that live or think that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
can't read his mind. I try to interpret.
Mm-hmm.
I think, oh, well, that's just not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that God is continually introducing God's self to us. Like, pleased to meet you. Here is my name, right? Compassion, mercy.
I heard something on the radio this morning, a sermon in church at work. He talked about being in a hotel and they just call the bellhop and they'll bring. Whatever you want. He said, well, the price is not a bellhop.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Michael, there's only like one explicit time that the will of God is stated in the New Testament, and it's that you would know grace. The desire or the will of God is that you would know grace. All right, let me read the story. Oh, I got to tell you that right before we jump into where we are, Abraham has just circumcised himself and all of the men in his entourage. And here's the symbol. I mean, it feels weird for us. I don't think most of the world practices that anymore. But the symbol is, here it is, taking a knife to the very thing that the promise would come through. So, as he's in the tent, recovering, the Lord appeared to Abram by the oaks of Mamre as he sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent entrance to meet them and bowed down to the ground. He said, "My Lord, if I find favor with you, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. Let me bring a little bread that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant." So they said, "Do as you have said." And Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarah and said, "Make ready quickly 3 measures of choice flour, knead it and make cakes." Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, a tender and good, and gave it to the servant, who hastened to prepare it. Then he took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree while they ate. They said to him, "Where's your wife Sarah?" And he said, "There in the tent." Then one said, "I will surely return to you in due season, and your wife Sarah shall have a son." Hey, let me translate that for you. In due season means next year. "I will surely return to you next year, and your wife Sarah shall have a son." And Sarah was listening at the tent entrance behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age. It had ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "What, after I've grown old, and my husband is old, shall I be fruitful?" Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old?' Is anything too wonderful for the Lord? At the set time I will return to you in due season," or a year, "and Sarah shall have a son." But Sarah denied, saying, "I did not laugh," for she was afraid. And he, the Lord, said, "Yes, you did." All right. Here's a mysterious thing that it just is. How it came to be, that it was copied and we received it as it is. It interchanges the Lord and 3 persons. I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't explain. 3 people walk up and the Lord appeared. And the word appeared. Is there an image? Yeah. And I know that we read the Lord appeared, but it would be better to say the Lord was seen. Yeah. The Lord was seen. 3 people appear and the Lord was seen. Yahweh was seen. That's just the artist's Sunday school image of 3 people approaching the tent that they're recovering in. Now I need you to zone in on a calf and the yogurt and milk that he prepared for him. If you were to go to an observant Jewish home today, they would not serve you a cheeseburger, because dairy and beef do not go together according to the law. And but here, the law has not, there's no Moses yet. There's no law yet. There's no 10 Commandments. There's no Torah. Abram's before the law. Nobody had a chance to do anything right or wrong according to the law. Abraham's not even Jewish, because there is no Jewish people yet. He's Babylonian. The Lord eats something that will later become against the Torah. Abram and the Lord participate in eating something against the law. This is very important. It's the same argument that Paul later, if you're familiar with it, it's kind of wordy and kind of a little bit complicated. Later, Paul is going to say, Abram believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness before he was circumcised. The point is that all of this being right with God occurred, and Abram is the father of any faith, any type of faith, faith in general, using faith to be right with the divine, occurred before you could do anything according to the law or against the law, before he was circumcised. He was made right before the external seal. He was made right before the law was given. You and I are probably familiar with this when we talk about works, right? You can't do anything or not do anything works-wise or living-wise to receive or not receive God's love. And that is just contrary to what it feels like to grow up human. It feels like I'll be loved if I'm successful. It feels like God loves me if my health is good. It feels like that God is not going to punish me if I do right things. That's what it feels like. And this story has Abram and God sitting down to eat, breaking the law. And Paul reminds us that he was justified and made right with God, called good, before anything. Before he was circumcised, before he had a son, before he had descendants, before there was Moses, before. And so anything, no matter what sort of label the Western world uses on other people groups, whether it be language or religion or ethnicity or geographical region, it just doesn't matter. If God communicates with someone and someone responds in whatever way they know how to respond at the best of their ability with the things available to them, that's faith. That's faithing. That's believing. And that's the start. Like there's just no other good place to start life or growing up or spiritual formation or spiritual direction or relationship with God and others, except to start with, you are beloved. And it can't have anything to do with being good or bad. Not to mention, I don't want you to be the one to decide what's good and bad. That's too much weight. Yeah, it's too much. That's too big of a burden to be the determiner of what's good and bad. But you can receive grace, and it's just accepting it, which is it takes formation in order to know what it means to start with grace. And here, in that very end of the story, is the picture of grace that I want us to leave with or to meditate on. So it looks like there's this little chippy exchange between Sarah and God, and it is. It's short. It's stuttered. She says, "No, I didn't." He says, "Yeah, you did." So she laughed, which is nothing wrong with that. And then God just asks, what's up with the laughing? She says, "I didn't laugh." And she lies to God. Maybe delayed truth-telling, I'm not sure. But she lies to God. Now, if you were the first audience reading this, you would know that and if I pulled out all the other stories from this time period where mortals and the divine are engaged and humans lie to God, if I pulled out any other stories, the consequences for that is punishment. Any of the Egyptian stories from this time period, any of the Babylonian stories from this time period, if you lie to a god, they maim you. They kill you. They do horrible things to people who lie to a god. And so this is a story, just like the rest of those stories of the time, where a mortal lies to God. But what does God do? The rest of those gods, when they get lied to, cut your arm off, poke your eye out, or kill you. What does this God do? Huh? Yeah, we're going to end up with forgives, grace. We don't have those words yet, but yes, you're right. He doesn't do anything. He just tells her the truth. Yeah, you did. That's it. The interaction doesn't have punishment. It doesn't have ruin. It doesn't have maiming. She made a mistake. She told a falsehood. Do you notice what the text says? Why? Afraid. That's right. And God does not leave her. You know, the way the story should go, like if it was like all the rest of the stories around from that time, is that the promised son gets removed. Oh, you don't get that anymore. I had promised you this, but you lied to me. I'm taking that off the table. No. She still gets good things. The promise is still good. God does not abandon her. God does not leave. He does not punish. He just tells the truth. Yeah, you did. And that sort of story, in the way that it cycles through, you know, you can live that way. I don't know, mistakes, regrets, faults, whatever, you know, whatever word you want to use. The way that we get to sort of spiritual maturity or emotional health or growth, spiritual development, is really the process of accepting what's true, whether we like it or not, whether we want it to be true or not. Anybody hear about folks talking kind of buzzwords today? Radical acceptance. Anybody? Like if it's if you're in therapy or if you're in counseling, counselor might talk to you about practicing radical acceptance of the situation. It isn't what you had hoped. It isn't what you had wanted. Might be your fault. Might be somebody else's fault. But it just is this way. And so Sarah, she lied to the divine. She lied to God. And what God asked her to do is just practice radical acceptance. Yes, you did. That's it. That's what you're going to get from God if you find yourself in error. He's just going to tell you what's real. Not leaving, not punishing, just telling you what's up. And that's we misunderstand this word of judgment. That's what right there. That is the picture of judgment. We think of judgment as like fire and punishment and terrible consequences and a series of things going wrong in our lives or whatever. But the judgment of God is just truth-telling. God will just tell you the truth. And then if you like that, great. If you don't want that, it feels terrible. Right? It's two sides of the same coin. God's judgment is just truth-telling. And if we like it, great. If we don't, it's not going to feel good. That's why we, most of the time, think of judgment as bad. It's because it doesn't feel good sometimes. There's a story. You're probably familiar with it. I'll give you the short version. Did I tell you about walking on the green grass? I forget. It must have been Bible study. Okay. Sunny day. Go to the park. Perfect temperature. Can't even feel anything on your skin. It's so perfect. Smells good. The birds are singing. And some people walk out on the grass in bare feet. And they're like, this is the softest grass that I have ever walked on. It's the most vibrant green. Those birds are so sweetly singing. Another group of folks walk out, and they're like, this grass is cutting the bottom. This grass is so sharp. It's hurting my feet. That sun is so bright and so hot and oppressive. Those birds, could they just quiet down a little bit? right? That's a picture of judgment. That's a picture of God saying, yes, you did. The grass is soft. That's what reality is the grass is soft. And coming to recognize that, that's understanding grace. So, God gives Abram a symbol, which is circumcision, but he also gives Sarah a symbol. Do you know what he tells her to name her son? What's Abram and Sarah's son's name? Remember Abraham, Isaac? And do you know what Isaac means? It does. And so for the rest of her life and his life, here is this child that is named after, not the laughing, but this interaction where she lied to God and nothing bad happened. And she gets to carry that the rest of her life. God didn't leave. God didn't remove the promise. God didn't punish her. He just said, yeah, you did. Let's name him Laughter. Don't forget what I'm like. Let me introduce myself to you. Let's name him Laughter. That's what I'm like. What you thinking? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to get back to that. That was all missing.
Mm-hmm.
God's first day was trying to be done well.
Mm-hmm.
So we healed with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're having to accept it, forgive ourselves if we want.
Yeah. For us growing up and living here in the West, it is more of an Eastern conceptual thing to practice receiving grace. We're going to go get grace or do grace or acquire grace. And really, it's this passive reception, this acceptance, which I can't actually touch it. You know? I can't actually touch it. What else are you thinking?
Because we're in the West, we'll question processing. We can also look at that and misinterpret that God is punishing Sarah by giving
We could. We could. Yeah. So, that's great, Greg. Because if we were to read it, that God is branding her, what that reading would be is that he's attaching shame to her lie. But it wouldn't be laughter if he was attaching shame. But that's what you and I most often do. We attach shame instead of just some truth-telling and growing and moving on. And we get stuck in attaching shame. But God actually doesn't attach shame to missteps, mistakes, wrongs, falsehoods, untruths, lies. He doesn't attach shame. What else? Later, the Hebrews are going to sing, though every man be found a liar, still you would be found true. though every man be found a liar, still you would be found true. Send us home.
Who is this King of glory that pursues me with his love and haunts me with each hearing of his softly spoken words? My conscience a reminder of forgiveness that I need. Who is this King of glory who offers it to me? Who is this King of angels? Oh, blessed Prince of Peace, revealing things of heaven and all its mysteries. My spirit's ever longing for his grace in which to stand. Who is this King of glory, Son of God and Son of Man? His name is Jesus, precious Jesus, the Lord Almighty, the King of my heart, the King of glory. Who is this King of glory, with strength and majesty, and wisdom beyond measure? The gracious King of kings, the Lord of earth and heaven, the creator of all things. He is this King of glory. He's everything to me. His name is Jesus, precious Jesus, the Lord Almighty, the King of my heart, the King of glory. The Lord of earth and heaven, the creator of all things. He is the King of glory. He's everything to me. His name is Jesus, precious Jesus, the Lord Almighty, the King of my heart, the King of glory. precious Jesus, Lord Almighty, the King of my heart, the King of glory. Though my weakness ties my tongue, I sing of every good you've done. Take every scar and broken dream, I lay them at your feet. There you come alive in me, in me. I will tell the mountain to be cast into the sea. I will see you when the oceans roar and know your perfect peace. As I cry out from the desert, living waters rise in me. No, I will not fear. You are everything I need. Let every shame that's covered us bow down to the empty cross. And oh, my God has set me free. You have come alive. You have come alive in me. In me. I will tell the mountain to be cast into the sea. I will see you when the oceans roar and know your perfect peace. As I cry out from the desert, living waters rise in me. No, I will not fear. You are everything. I need you more than what I see. I need you more than this air I breathe. With every step and every heartbeat, come alive, come alive, come alive in me. I will tell the mountain to be cast into the sea. I will see you when the oceans roar and know your perfect peace. As I cry out from the desert, living waters rise in me. No, I will not fear. You are everything I need. I will tell the mountain to be cast into the sea. I will see you when the oceans roar and know your perfect peace. As I cry out from the desert, living waters rise in me. No, I will not fear. You are everything I need.
My Capo Finley passed the question from Thrive Table. Why is hospitality such a major theme in this passage? That is an excellent question. You and I can get into a car with a credit card and drive 3,000 miles uninterrupted. You know? No one has ever been able to do that ever, except for today. In places like Afghanistan, Escuintla, Guatemala, if you don't have hospitality, if someone doesn't take you in and treat you as their own and bring you into their household for protection, you may get injured in your traveling. And hospitality developed as such an important thing because that is what God would do for foreigners, travelers, sojourners. So Abraham is acting like God and showing this great hospitality in a place that you can't travel very far without the potential of violence. Mhm. Why is hospitality such a major theme in this passage? Yeah. So Sarah says, I have grown old and my husband is old. Shall I be fruitful? And she actually says something that we don't say in public, only say in private. But what she is referring to is rejuvenation. Paul says their bodies were good as dead. And in this rejuvenation of bodies as good as dead into new life, we have a type of the resurrection. Just a whisper, just a fingerprint. And Jesus just keeps showing up on every page that we turn through the Hebrew Bible. So, go in peace to love and serve your neighbor and to love and serve God. I'll see you soon.